time to get about 2 months worth of work in the next 3 hours. And so probably the only way to do that is taking 4 to 5 espresso shots. Oh, I just got done having a conversation with Ken, the largest business owner that I work with. He has 10,000 apartments. He just runs the best business ever. And what we were discussing was my limiting factor. We were going over, so the basics of a business is you have your product, you have the legal, you have the systems, communication, and that leads to cash flow. And then outside of that, this is just the BI triangle, you have leadership, mission, and team outside of that. And what he was saying is, dude, you're thinking outside the triangle for the leadership, mission, and team, because I was talking, like, I'm trying to figure out the mission, I'm trying to figure out like the team right now. He said, you have to solve for cash flow first. He said, that only works when everything else is working. He said, you have the great product. He said, you have no legal. Well, he said, how's your legal? He said, it's nothing. You have no legal. He said, how are your systems? I mean, he said, I know, they're not good at all. How is your communication? Not good. That is why you have poor cash flow. He said, step 1, legal. Step 2, system. Everything should be to where if I needed to onboard a client, it is a smooth process for everyone involved. And then communication. The communication should be exceptional. Same thing with actually getting new inbound leads. That falls into communication, like selling, marketing. How is that? It's okay, it's not great. It's good on the front of getting new leads. It's bad on the front of communicating with current clients. So fix that. Once you fix those, cash flow is going to increase. Most of your time should be focused on product, making the best product possible, but it doesn't really matter if you have the best product if your legal systems and communication sucks. So then that is what really has to be focused on. Your team does not matter as much until you figure that out. And then it's, how do you build the team? The mission doesn't matter that much because you're gonna be cranking out tons of cash flow. If you have a bad product, then none of this matters though. But if you have a good product, that's the real difference when you go from being like a solopreneur to having a few people to having a business. Right now, I would not even consider myself having a real business because I am the business. And every single person starts that way. If I go away, there is just no way I would be able to operate. If Ken goes away, he's going to make more money because he's built a business that has every single component of it that allows it to continue to grow regardless of what happens. That's really the biggest difference, I think, between, like, let's say super motivated, ambitious people. They can just grind and they can make 50 to 100 grand a month. You definitely can do that. You can fucking grind it out and you can do that as a, let's say, a one-person entrepreneur or self-employed. But if you want a business that generates a lot of money, you have to run a business. And fortunately, there's commonalities between every single business in the world. And that's why I love my job so much, or my little self-employed job, where I get to ask people who've done this a million times exactly what to do. And then they actually just help you do it. If you provide them value, this is the best experience in the entire world. What Ken was telling me though, about like talking to the team members, that makes a lot of sense in the past, because he was saying it's not enough to just tell someone to do something. If you just tell someone once and expect them to do it, the fault is on you. He said what he always does, and I've seen him do this, it's you tell them what needs to be done, you have them repeat back to you what needs to be done, and then you just text them to remind them to make sure that everyone on all fronts are crystal clear. And then if the mistake's still made, then there's like bigger issues. But if it's just one verbal, like, okay, then most people are just not going to be able to fix something instantly, but from one verbal, okay. I actually forgot about that lesson until just now. You're so swaggy, Jerry. No. My life's mission is to go to the strip club with you, Jerry.
I thought it was to get me into
That one I would just feel bad about.
Alright, so we'll start. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
All right, so I thought the hook would be, your business will fail if you can't figure this out. This is the BI triangle, and you can go over what that is.
Okay. Your business will fail if you don't figure this out. So those of you who don't know, this is the BI triangle, the rich dad.
So now, I think it would make sense, because if we're gonna have the title around the younger person, you can pick on me here, okay, and say like here's the problem that I have with my business. You have product, and then you can go through everything else.
Yeah. So you want me to just say you?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
So, okay. So one of the young men I'm working with, his name is Josh, is helping me with my YouTube channel because I'm old and he knows what to do.
So maybe now go over how your business operates when you have the product, the legal, the systems, communication, cash flow.
Yeah.
So they see how it's supposed to be run.
Yeah. So now let's talk about how a business is supposed to be run.
We already talked. I'm gonna like.
Not that I know.
We'll get all this shit.
It really shouldn't have been that hard.
No, I'll do that right now. All right, so the entry is, everyone says it takes 10,000 hours to master something.
Everyone says it takes 10,000 hours to master something.
After spending over 100,000 hours on business, I promise that's not true.
After spending over 100,000 hours on business, I promise that is not true.
I just made a video on the business lessons you need to hear.
Good?
Yeah.
Damn.
That would be incredibly helpful, because if a video gets 12,000 views but brings in 40 accredited investors, that's worth way more than getting 200,000 views.
We started using those a couple months ago. I just haven't had it downloaded all and put it in, but yeah.
Because that would drastically change the potential strategy for the channel.
It would.
It's almost 10 o'clock and I probably have another hour and a half, 2 hours worth of work tonight to finish up. And this honestly feels so much better than not having anything to do and being bored. Working hard is fun. It actually is when you have a long-term vision. Hard work with no goals or objectives that you're trying to accomplish, that sucks. Let's say you were forced to do X amount of labor for X amount of time every single day, and there was no hope of ever getting anything out of it. That's what would suck. But seeing an end objective, that makes me want to work all day to get that. And so being around people that also have those same types of goals, it was fun today. I was hanging out with a young kid who's crushing it in a similar space as me. We're doing pretty similar things, and I'm thinking, well, let's fucking scale this thing, man. Let's fucking scale. See what we can do.